and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, their eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Okay? How many of you are like, what's happening? A lot of you. Okay, we're going to break it down. So, let's start, first of all, with our annotating directions. First, underline any unknown vocabulary words. Okay?
Where's that?
What?
Oh.
Underline any unknown vocabulary words. Okay? Maybe temperate. Temperate might be one that we don't know. Yeah. Some people might not. Okay.
Saying temperate as in describing someone.
No. Stop. Okay. Lease. Maybe we don't know what lease is. Complexion. Okay. So underline unknown vocabulary words and then find definitions for them. Okay. If they're Shakespearean terms. Yeah. Yeah. This is just good annotating skills. So Elijah, find the definition for each word and write it underneath the song.
I understand the word.
Yes.
Yeah. I just don't understand.
What? So that's fine. You know all the terms, so that's fine. But what about the Shakespearean terms? Okay. There's a list too that I need you guys below. Or above. Hey, let's get off your phone. Why don't you go outside and pull your monitor?
Data.
Okay, what is your...
Are we supposed to summarize it?
So you're going to underline a vocabulary word that you don't know. So any term in there that you don't understand, we're going to find the definition for it. Okay?
There's also showing moderation. Yeah, it's like moderate.
Talking about temperate?
Yeah.
I think it was bad ideas.
That is Scott Woods.
It's usually a bad idea.
Ended. Amulet.
I don't know.
Very interesting.
Really?
The Shakespearean terms for you? Is that what?
I'm going now. I like it.
Or with stuff like that.
Or like 20 years from now.
Alright, bring it in 3, 2, 1, 0. You should be silent. Shh, Jillian. Okay. What was a word that you guys underlined? What was a word? So you knew, so Levi, what's the definition of temperate?
Wait, like a certain temperature in a certain place.
Okay. So you might want to do that word. What's that one you guys underlined? What's a word? Tony?
I don't think that my definition of lease works.
Yes, okay. So lease might be one, and what did you find the definition of it to be? Huh?
What's the definition of like modern day lease? But
It's very similar. A lease is like a short amount of time, right? A scheduled amount of time. Alright, what else was a word that we identified? Anybody? Nobody found a word, Kaden. What does complexion mean? You didn't research it?
I underlined it. I didn't research it.
Okay, the next step was to identify the meaning of the word, underlined words underneath. Okay, so make sure you do that.
Can I just do next to it?
Yeah. Or next to it, that's fine. Yeah.
Wait, what's temperate again?
Temperate means mild or moderate. Okay, so it's talking about the weather, right? The whether it's moderate. Yeah.
Oh, it's just, I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
I was going to explain complexion.
So what is complexion, Esther?
Oh, it's asked me to write the definition.
Yes.
It's like a.
So the next, it says look up the unknown words and write a synonym or short definition for each word underneath the sonnet.
Wait.
Alright, so make sure your definitions are underneath. So Elijah, let's send you back between Ava and Caleb. And Malachi, let's send you between Faith and...
Oh my gosh, I think Levi said the epitome.
Go. Now.
What did Malachi do?
I said in between Ava and Caleb.
I think the bold thing is supposed to be the. No, on the bottom of the definition.
Alright, bring it in. Eyeballs. Okay. The next part of the annotating direction says reread the sonnet and look for the theme. Elijah, I'm going to send you to the office, dude. Not in a mood today. Okay, sit down and get to work.
I'm waiting for her so I can say
I said in between Caleb and Ava.
at least a cute.
Why would I make you
It
squeeze?
sounded like.
Where would you sit?
Because I thought they were leaning against each other like I'm so tired of it, they're going to move.
No, they weren't touching at all. And I was tired of you dealing with Levi.
He would.
Belle.
You have to bold the punctuation.
Yes. The next thing is to bold the end punctuation, okay? Why would I make you do this? I already explained it once, right? If you have punctuation, you're going to pause. If you don't have punctuation like here, you're going to read through the line, okay? We're learning how to read poetry. Yes.
If you bold it, or at least on my computer, it's kind of difficult to see that you actually bold it. So,
I'm not going to be like, this bold is not bold enough. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Bold all the end punctuation. So at the end of the line, if there's punctuation, quickly bolding things or Command B.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not for me, it's for you guys. Okay.
Oh, really? So, like,
Exactly. Good job.
If I can use punctuation, why?
well, aren't they apostles?
So I want you guys to point out to it. So then when you read it, you make punctuation. Yes. Oh, no. Sorry, commas are not end punctuation. You don't pause at comma.
Oh.
so I don't bold commas. I know, so all the commas, the question marks.
Commas are not end punctuation. Yes. Anything that marks the end of the sentence.
You too.
Wait, is it colon or semicolon?
A semicolon is not end punctuation.
Semicolon is not?
No, because does it mark the end of a
You know
sentence?
that
So
kind of
just periods,
But
exclamation
doesn't it
marks,
bond two
and
sentences together?
question
Yes, but
marks?
it's not the end of it. Does that make sense? The period would be is an end
Isn't a
punctuation.
colon count too?
No, because the colon introduces lists.
Okay, so
Okay. So avoid the commas and the
So just periods, exclamation marks, and
question marks.
Okay.
Yes.
My regular colons count?
No, because that would be introducing a list, right?
Can't really tell if you just said
Right, because the semicolon you're introducing something and a colon is in between.
It said on the instructions.
Oh, sorry, semicolon is included. And colon?
Which is why I bolded all of them.
Wait, so now semicolon and colon?
And this gives you.
Yeah, I put it in the direction. Sorry, I confused you.
So should we bold it or no?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Can we make a
I know
bunch
that
of
dude, right? Why don't you just call the whole assignment off and we'll call
Why
it
don't we pull off the whole assignment? Yes, Dave. Need help, bud? Yes, we bold this. The only punctuation we do not bold is a comma.
Wait.
Sorry, I was just...
you literally just told us
No,
so we
yeah,
do
she
both
kind of
colons.
changed it 3 times.
So we do both colons
And semicolons.
and semicolons.
Just not commas.
Why is there no
Wait,
period?
he's talking about a girl, right? Can I compare her to...
No, he says the.
What does B mean in English? Let's Google this.
All right, bring it back in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Now that you've bolded your end punctuation, let's reread it one more time so you can identify when to pause. Okay, follow along. This time you are to try to look for a theme. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, their eyes can see, so long lives this, and this life gives to thee. Okay? Any ideas on theme? What's he talking about, Malachi?
He's saying that love is like a wonderful thing, and that it's just as good as summer.
Okay, so what's he comparing it to?
The nature.
Okay, possibly. Ava?
Just comparing like really like beautiful things everyone likes, like somebody. I think he's talking about somebody because he says, "Shall I compare thee?"
Yeah, specifically he's comparing a girl, his love of his life, right? You're talking about beautiful things. There's one element that we're missing with beautiful things, and we'll get to it, okay? So, oh my gosh, I give up. I give up.
Wait, aren't teachers supposed to encourage kids not to give up?
Sorry, I give up on my smart word. I'll just use the mouse. So, number 1 says, summarize the above sonnet, including the situation or problem. Okay? Any ideas on what the situation is? Ava kind of gave it a little bit of a rundown. Sonnets always have a situation or problem or question. Karis.
So summertime and good things and eventually the season guy.
Okay. So, if we go back to it, let's look at the lines. Let's look at the lines. Look at the board, everybody. Look at the board. Okay, Levi. So, he's talking about, at first, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Okay? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. What does he mean? What are the buds? Flowers. Okay? So, think of right now, right? All the flowers are blooming. What happens in summer? They start to wilt, right? Okay, so the beauty of that dies. And summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. What's the eye of heaven? The sun. Okay, so okay, guys, you know where we live, right? Does it get too hot in summer?
Yes.
Oh
No.
my gosh, it gets so hot.
Go
Okay.
swimming.
Then he continues to say, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. Okay, the sun's complexion is dimmed by what? Clouds. Okay, or things in the sky. He said winter. It could be winter too, right? Because now you're changing seasons. That works as well. Yeah, the sun. The sun. He's personifying the sun. Okay. Now he gets talking about beauty, right, and nature. He continues to say, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. Who's he talking about now? Who's eternal summer? His love's eternal summer shall not fade, okay? So while beauty diminishes, his love of his life will not, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, of the beauty that you have, right? Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. What's he talking about? He's talking about death and eternal. What is he getting at? Yeah, Charlie?
That even though like there'll be a time where like whoever passes away, like his love will still.
Yes. Okay. And think about it this way, guys. Think of like your grandma and your grandpa. Are they beautiful people?
Sure.
Not to society's standards at our age, right? So even when she gets into old age, he says, so long as men can breathe, their eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Okay. So he's talking about nature, right? And how nature's beauty fades, just as the love of his life, but he won't love her any less. Okay, that love will be there forever. So, summarize the sonnet, including the situation. Go ahead and do that right now. when we go line by line, you guys got it under control. It's when you guys look at Shakespeare as a whole and you're like, holy goodness. Okay. How you doing? Well, rest in peace, Mrs. Shakespeare. By the way, he writes, I think, 130 sonnets to the love of his life, but the object of his affection was never identified.
Was he
Yeah,
ever
I've heard of
married?
that.
What?
Was he ever married?
No, they don't know who.
Oh.
He's made a lot of love songs. but
I
they don't
believe
know
he
who
was
they were
married,
for.
yes. But the sonnets in particular, they were whoever he wrote them to was never identified.
And he's
Did he have two wives? I think so.
I think
it was
he did.
Annie or
Dang,
something.
Shakespeare getting around.
Annie.
Well, no, forget one.
Sorry.
Right. Yes.
Finish your summary. Finish your summary.
I did finish.
How long is it going to take? You know, write this underlying word.
talk about like
I don't know what time it is.
she'll get ideas.
It's not necessarily what he's saying. Kiddos, what's he identifying about nature? What happens in nature?
It dies.
Not necessarily that it dies.
Gets up.
It fades. The beauty of nature fades through the seasons and time.
So it gets up. I said beautiful.
Look at you guys analyzing sonnets and stuff.
I took a picture of the thingy, poem, whatever you want to call it.
Sonnet.
Yeah, that thing. Like Sonic.
When we write the sonnet in our own words, do we have to have it like be like a sonnet? Like
I want it line by line. So I want you to rewrite the
Does it have
Shakespearean
to
words into your own word. Does everybody else?
but does it
I
have
don't
to-
run when I talk.
If you all talk to me at once, I can't understand. Okay, Emma? So number 2 says write this sonnet in your own words, okay? So look at line number 1. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Okay, how can I rewrite that in modern day English? Reagan?
Can I compare you to a summer's day?
Okay, or the beauty of summer's day. Line 2. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. What does that mean?
I
Okay.
put, you look pretty on our okay like the weather.
Well, think about, okay, is a summer's day hot?
Very.
Very, right? And so he says, thou art more lovely and more temperate than a summer's day. What did temperate mean? So think about how nice a summer's day is, but the days when they're too hot, he's saying that's how beautiful you are. Okay.
Wait, what
So
is
the ideal perfect summer's day that's not too hot. Okay.
yeah.
Oh shoot, shoot.
Are
Not
okay,
hot.
like the weather.
You are more lovely.
It's so
I'm talking about temperature, not how you're using hot right now.
Wait, wasn't it moderated?
Sure. Okay. So go ahead and rewrite all 14 lines in your own words. Okay. Go line by line. This shows that you're able to understand what's happening. Use that Shakespeare language decoder as well.
So like in modern English.
Yeah.
like,
Just do your best.
I'm confused
So I-
with the green stuff.
What was the third line?
Rough winds do shake the dawn buds.
Okay. What did we talk about the buzz?
Flowers.
Yes. Okay. So all the flowers that bloom in May start to lose their beauty when they first bloom in summer. Okay. Or in fall. Right. He's saying in the seasons will get rid of those. Think about in fall. What happens to the leaves?
Now fall
Yeah.
down.
Due to what? Or just cold in general.
So it's
Summer's almost over, basically.
Can you figure out how to phrase that? English?
Kaden.
Oh, okay.
Look at number 5.
Sorry. Good that. Okay, line
Is
3.
this okay?
Why have to make rhymes?
You like literally copied the exact.
No, I didn't. It's more.
I definitely.
Rough winds shake the darling buds of May,
Yeah.
and summer's lease has too short of a date.
I was right.
Sometimes it's you use wrong for 2. What is that? That means 2, right? 2 with 2 O's means excessive, too much.
Every fair sometimes declines.
Sorry.
We need a rhyme.
No.
I was gonna say.
No, I'm not analyzing whether you can write the form of poetry. I'm asking if you can understand what the sonnet's saying. So it doesn't need to rhyme, just need to involve the lyrics. No, you're literally having a line like it was by chance or nature's change in course and trend. Well, what is nature's change in course? And untrimmed means stripped. When the season close last.
What the heck is that?
Yes.
Let's do for 7.
So 7 says, and every fair sometimes declines. So fair, like traditionally means beauty.
What about
Right.
number 11?
So he's talking about and all the beauty in the beauty of the world at some point.
Was 5
Okay.
is it sometimes?
And then line 8 he says, by chance or nature's changing course. What is nature's changing course? Okay, and then untrimmed means stripped of its beauty, right? So the beauty of the
And
world
summer's
will
time is all
decline or lose stripped of its beauty due to the seasons, right? Because when the seasons change, you lose the beauty of the season. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Number 11, Charles?
Yeah, look.
Make sure you're finishing this, okay?
This is so great.
And I'm
Number 11?
That's
Hey, it works.
Is that what it's saying though?
Which line is it?
Number 7.
Wait, what about number 11?
I mean, yeah, he's talking about the even like the most beautiful stuff like decline.
Listen, it's so hard to like not laugh when you're next to it. Like, it's just.
So what about number 11?
Number 11 says, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. Not because you're pretty. He says, but thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest from his shade. Okay? So he says, your eternal summer, your beauty shall never fade, okay? Or lose the beauty that you had even in death. Yes. Good. Okay, how you doing, hon? Okay, so number 3 says, rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. Remember, what were the buds that we talked about? Yes. Okay. So,
wait.
okay, put that. I only want you to do line 6, or line 5, okay? Yeah. So 8 is talking about, okay, so he says, and every fair sometimes declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. Okay. What is nature's changing course?
Like the weather?
The weather or the seasons, either way, okay? And untrimmed means stripped of its beauty. So even those elements of stripped of its beauty, right? Think of like, if it's a nice day and it's really cold, that lovely day has been stripped.
Yeah.
11 says, okay, so you have to read 11 from 9, right? So start from 9 and see if that helps.
Or lose possession of that fair thou
Well, 9 is talking about summer is not gonna end.
And And who was he? Who was the metaphor of summer?
Love, yes. And then she'll never lose his love.
Okay. And then nor shall death brag no more. No shall death. Okay. And death can't be
Just have to read the whole thing.
Don't just look it up online. Oh, is there a vocabulary word? I thought you meant meaning. I was like, no!
I was like, you told us it was but like, what does that mean by heaven?
Guess what Levi put for number 17?
Well, that's what it said. Everybody shared something.
You should just announce it to the top.
Wait, I'll email it to you. You have to read this.
You don't have to change it for a picture.
Okay. And then Mel said, what did you say?
I don't get one
No, grow up.
Line 7, Emma, says, well, 7 is attached to 6. Remember, he says, sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. Right, so the brightness of the sun is dimmed by things, right? So even like the wonderful brightness of the sun, that beauty fades.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Line 10 is you saying I'll still have you forever.
Having it.
Yeah. Yes.
Why don't you saying that you'll still have beauty or that I will do that?
Well, he talks about, so you can interpret it a couple different ways, right? One is that he's saying you'll never lose your beauty, but he also talks about that even nature loses beauty. So it doesn't really line up. So he could be talking about inner beauty, right? Not just outside of that beauty will never fade, while her outside will. So you can interpret that however you want. Okay. Yeah.
What does it mean by his gold?
The changes.
He's personifying what? Like the line before. The sun. So he's saying the sun's gold complexion. Yes. Focus. What? Look at the computer. Okay, 12 says when in eternal lines to time thou growest. Okay, so eternal and death. What does it mean? So use those two words to base your knowledge off those lines. So if he's talking about your eternal summer shall never fade, nor lose possession of the beauty that you have. When nor shall death brag thou wanderest into shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. So when you grow in eternal lines, right? So what does eternal mean? Forever? Forever. Okay. So he says when you grow in eternal lines.
Alright, next one.
I don't know.
Okay, so basically he's saying, right, that you'll never lose the beauty you have. Okay. And then he says, not even death. Right? Not even death. What do you think about that? I keep feeling my shoulders. I don't want to have you again. What's the comment he's talking about? Love. Okay. So what about love?
The other sonnet together.
He's talking about how beauty dies.
Are we doing the other sonnet?
Yes, we're doing one more. Yeah. Oh, hold on. We have the other stuff for a while. good enough. Yes. Yeah.
No, Mr. Brosco's like, yeah, that works.
Line 4. And so summer's lease has too short a date, right? Because how long is summer? So is that too short? Okay, you got it. Yeah. Heck yeah. Because what's the best time of year?
What the heck is that?
Oh, we're gonna get it. Okay.
They can't read.
Alright, I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes and we're gonna move on to the next one. I know, it's good. It's gonna be long. It's got 30. It's gonna be longer than that. It's fine. Stop.
Your eyes are dull and boring. No, because literally that's what the poem is about. It literally says, then in the breath that's from my mistress at this
Guys, are you trying to say that anything or just rebelling?
No, not trying.
I've been trying. But not to.
Hey, Levi.
Dual gray.
You know what this means?
She dead? Wait.
Her breast
Yeah. His nose is white.
but no such emotion is dying.
Wait, she could be dead. It could be dead from like the love
Charles.
or
You know what number 3 means? You can't wrestle.
that would make sense. I thought that would make more. It would make sense.
Isn't it great? Oh, it's
Julian!
Right. Oh.
You can smell better.
Okay. Okay, so he says, so long as men can breathe, their eyes can see, so long as this and gives life to thee.
Hey Charles,
So
remember,
long
you're
as
talking
what?
about her, not talking to her. I know.
Hey guys, I want to point out, bring it in real quick, 3, 2, 1, 0. I want to work through this part with you just in case you did not grasp this. Okay, I want you to try to figure out on your own, but I think we need a little bit of guidance. The last 2 lines, okay? This is really interesting. He says, so long as men can breathe, their eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Okay? He says, so long as men can breathe, their eyes can see. Eyes can see what? Eyes can see what? Elijah? Okay, what else? What else is going to live forever that people will be able to see? Tony? The poem! So long as men can breathe, their eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives to thee. Okay? So he says, so long as you guys can see and hear this poem, so long lives this love, right? This love will live forever, this beauty will live forever, and this gives life to thee. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay? He's talking about how the beauty, like this poem will always explain the beauty that lives forever. So literally, the beauty lives forever while nature flourishes. Okay. Love is immortal. Yes.
Yeah, Romeo
That's all you have to do.
or lose possession of the beauty.
The theme. Okay, what's the theme? Yes, sir.
I don't get a lip.
Okay, wait, it's just for sure.
Yes. Chillin' on game. How you doing?
That means when she dies.
For the next one. That's fine. You want to wait for the second part, or do it? There's one more part.
Julian.
Okay. All right, are we ready for Sonnet 130?
That wonder is Julian.
Oh, just wait. We're gonna go over this one. It's gonna be great. Okay.
That
Levi and Charles and Elijah, you guys are gonna like the sonnet once I explain
Wait, this
it.
is like a song that like, he hates, right? Pretty much.
Kind of. Okay.
I just read
So
it.
bring it in. 3, 2, 1, 0. Shh. Aiden, what did you put for a theme? For Sonnet 18.
Her beauty will live on forever beyond the point of nature.
Okay, so her beauty specifically or any beauty?
Her
Or love? Well, remember, theme is a connection to like the world as a whole, right? Not just one's experience. Just like in a Mice and Men, the theme isn't something about Lenny, it's something broader. You want to phone a friend?
No, at some points it implies that nature dies, but
Love.
it continues.
Love continues. Good. Caleb, what are you going to say?
I was gonna say like the people grow old and
The love never dies or fades. Good. What else? Anyone put anything different they want to share for the theme? Okay. Those are great answers. Faith, what'd you put?
I said that his love for her will never die and that it will live forever.
Good job, hun. All right. So, Sonnet 130. This is a very interesting sonnet because it's funny. Okay? So once we explain it and we go over it, you guys are going to actually enjoy it. Okay? Nate, let's focus. All right? Everyone look at the board or the sonnet on your screen. Follow along as I read. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are done. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music has a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet by heaven I think my love is rare as any she belied with false compare.
Can I read mine?
Well, hold on. Any ideas as to what this poem is talking about? Jillian?
She's not ideal, but he loves her anyway.
Okay, yes. Caleb, your hand is up.
yeah, kind of that like that even though like she's not perfect, that he still is.
Okay. Nate?
That she is nothing really good that he's describing, but he still loves her. Like when he says like Coral is far more red than her lips, like Coral's red and her lips are like not red,
Yeah.
or like
So here's more background too. Remember, you guys, I told you, the sonnets are like an OG slide into your DM in your guys' age, right?
Wow.
So this was like a love note that you would send to someone you were interested in, while today you guys just go on Instagram or Snapchat and like send them a message, right? Super romantic. So,
This?
Considering I don't have
okay. So traditionally, the sonnets praised a woman's beauty. So Shakespeare is making fun of that type of format by calling out what? Her ugly hair. She's saying that her breasts are poop colored, basically.
I really want to read.
Then he's saying her cheeks are not rosy red. He's like basically saying like she's not the traditional standard of beauty, and he's making fun of that format. Okay? So it's supposed to be funny. Aiden?
On Urban Dictionary, it says that dun is like a dull, unimpressive gray.
It's a good word.
Beige.
So I always think of like dun, like literal poop color. Like that's what happens in my head. Dun. Oh, I know, but that's what I think of in my head when I see that word. Like, that's the color that I see. I don't know what color you guys saw. Gray, you saw gray? So it's not nice, right? He's not being nice to her. So, just a second, okay? Go ahead and summarize the above sonnet. So,
Wait, do we not have to do this for this one?
Oh shoot, I forgot. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
I'll guide that one. Okay. So go ahead and write the situation. Why is my room so hot?
Maybe because the AC's on and the door's open.
To rewrite this poem?
Okay, you want to read mine?
Yeah, I do.
Mine's great. Read it out loud.
You can smell whether your breath is bad. I like when you speak, but your voice is terrible. I've never seen a goddess die. You did. He doesn't mean die. He's saying, I've never seen a goddess go because, like, goddesses don't walk on ground. Then he's like, you stomp around. Right? What, Jillian?
I said you give us beautiful visuals.
Thank you. I feel like I embarrass myself in front of you guys just like 24/7 and I just
It's
don't
great.
know.
It's funny. I think it's like
That's That's how we learn. Always remember
You
that.
just calling myself out on you. Yeah, you guys even although I somehow love you, you don't have much color. That's not what this means.
Wait, what?
He says, and yet by heaven I think my love is rare. You got that, as any she be lied with false compare. So he's saying like any false comparison isn't like he wants to ward off any sort of false comparison. So he's basically saying like, don't try to. She doesn't compare to anything else. You can't compare her to these things.
So wait, you're literally uglier than everything.
What?
Isn't coral more like a pink Because according to Apple, coral's like a pink.
Wait, so I think I did 14 correct.
Yeah, I think red is pink.
Well, he says coral is far more red than her lips red. So that's like the color of your lips, naturally, right?
Yeah.
Like this. So he's like, she has no color in her lips.
Red's lame.
Right.
So wait, so I fixed 14 as supposed to be.
Let me see.
Is that about right?
Sure, that's how you interpret it.
Yes! Mary, you should read mine.
Okay.
It's so great.
Hold on, let her finish.
Yeah.
Do the annotating.
Miss Anne, what was the situation
Carl.
like?
For the summary,
What
I
is the
put that
situation?
even though she's not
She's not the best.
But she's not perfect.
Well, he's doing a couple things. He's doing what? Not her, he's doing like traditional form. Right, he's doing that. What else is he saying about comparison? He's using about comparison.
And that he loves her the way that she
Oh no, I should put something else in there. Every time a flower. There we go.
I wish you were bald. I don't know how you got that. What? Oh, okay. Sure. Wait, don't you ever blush? You stink? When was the last time you brushed?
What did you know?
You stomp a lot, yet I still love you, even though you were disgusting. I think I got Levi interested in English last time. I think I did it!
I think I'm doing well so far.
I don't know what I played with.
What's that? I will. I don't know.
Oh, and now she's laughing.
What it is?
Yeah,
What's the theme?
I don't know.
Forget about that. You get sued.
I'm done.
Ms. Nadolski, you should look at her revision.
No, don't.
I'm glad I was on it.
Control Z. Yeah, Control Z. Control.
Is that Charles?
Beautiful.
I just put you smell bad. Don't
Right.
No, we're Nadolski. You need to look at
Put
what
them up. Put them all up.
Amazing.
For which part?
I did something.
Oh.
He's like, it's on it.
No.
I was really
so you know.
I love that. Were you email that to me?
Charles, you didn't even know that you guys were poets. I created poets.
Oh no, so yeah, you said I did 14 wrong, so I just put you're literally uglier than everyone.
Hey, Charles.
Does that work? What? Okay, click on it. Okay.
No, you look so serious. Like,
I never saw you gone as a joke.
No, that's
I thought she just said that she was fat. She wants it.
Alright. Okay. If you have not. Oh, wait. So you should have summarized Sonnet 130, and you should be rewriting line by line. Okay, you still want to get the theme across. What's he saying about this at the end? Make sure that's accurate.
both of them though.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the second one, the first one's more like, you'll never stop loving it. Or the first one. That
Yeah, he's talking about, right? And he's saying that, like, nothing, all these comparisons are false, right?
Yeah.
There's no way to compare. He's making fun of, like, describing it makes sense.
You will regret reading it.
I will regret reading it? No.
Yeah.
No.
It's a cursed image in like.
You want to read
I
a
want to
line?
read it.
Yes, I do. Oh, do you have it?
Yeah, I have this right
Go to the heart of
Not so much. I like perfume. She looks like that. She can talk. She can't sing. Never sing a girl because somebody. Oh, Elijah, I'm into it. You guys, I'm so excited to read these, and this is way more fun than I thought it would be, so I'm really happy.
This is a good sign.
You're welcome.
We won't like this.
I honestly didn't mean it to, but I thought you guys would like enjoy this sonnet because it's
Oh
pretty
no,
easy to get.
I just like to make fun of everything.
Well, yeah, that would be a good one.
Well, that's why it's fun. Make fun of everything. It's the easiest solution.
Charles, do you like that?
Yo, you can choose.
Charles,
Yeah. Yeah, I just want you guys to utilize the form. The sophomores have freedom.
Is it just on Friday or Tuesday? Okay, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I know. But like,
That's all you heard.
colorless.
That's all I heard.
I'm over regret.
It's too
What?
it's all just like you add one like number 9.
I changed
You do.
Technically, it wasn't who said it. Someone from He's at
Yes.
Elijah.
Awesome, dude.
Yours is really good, but I think And mine's 14, so
Yes.
literally ugly.
I wish I could draw, but like, only apparently.
It makes it better.
I said that's not know what that's from.
Yes, I have it. I think my love is rare as
All normal pipe.
What is it?
What? You should have to try.
Reagan.
What?
I was asking if my friend changed the music because we share the same Spotify account and I have a study playlist.
So important.
Why are there so many of you on Facebook?
Yeah, but
It's
Some
mandatory.
success.
Actually, only a few of us. It's okay.
It's mandatory for other foundations.
Also, I think
What else do you have to do today?
a day break.
Did you finish this?
Just a minute. We're done.
All right, eyeballs, eyeballs, eyeballs. Bring it back really quick. Okay, Tony. Tony. Okay. Caleb, Nate, Tessa. Okay. So remember, you still have your annotating directions. Okay. So go back through this poem. You need to bold the end punctuation. Okay. Learn how to read those. And then you need to underline vocabulary that you do not understand and place the definition underneath the poem.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so a few words that you might need to identify would be something like half. Okay, what does that mean? Treads. If you don't know what shreds is. Reeks. What does reeks mean? Okay. So go ahead and do that. Let's keep it quiet. This is a good level.
Wait, so 14 is like.
Yes. Yes, same thing. Oh, and then make sure to identify literary devices, okay? If they're hyperbole, is there, which there is a lot of hyperbole in here, right?
We do that.
That's where you insert the comment, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I already turned mine in.
Just every snip.
That's a lot of work.
Wait, how do we do that?
So you go to, you highlight those word or the section, then you press insert comment.
For
Oh,
every
what is this?
one.
No, it's just
Okay.
Instead of like what I've seen. Is that what
torn apart. Not as means like strip, basically.
Why just send me some video? You want to watch it?
Elijah, why are you sending? Oh, I see. I see. There's a relevant reason.
Wait, is it email? What's the other place?
Frisbee group should learn that too.
Oh, yeah.
I can see it.
Is that what
No, you haven't
Wait.
learned.
Charles, are you watching it?
Yeah?
Hey,
You never did this.
Levi, I'm not gonna email me back so you can go home and be like, just leave me. Alright,
Did you send my dad a Google
now is
list?
the time to get things that you want.
What?
Ever?
I'm just playing the loudest noise in the world in my headphones. It's no problem.
I always think it's this. What's up?
Guys, art metaphors. Guys,
I'm just finishing.
Actually murdering my
metaphor. What would be the first line? I want
A lot of these are metaphors. Like every word is a metaphor.
Well, There's also hyperbole.
Yeah.
Right?
But one of the ones
There's imagery. There's illusion. What is the
You're right.
Charles, Levi.
Yes.
Alright, okay, so he says, and yet what? Okay, now then he says she
My second one is because I did it.
Tony!
Do you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Sorry.
Ungodly sound.
Sorry.
Let me just put a high-pitched shriek and see if my teacher hears it.
No, you're not gonna do a high.
I'm not doing it.
No,
I'm just.
what are you trying to do to see how
just like,
funny
isn't that just like
Yeah.
Maybe you just play some Scottish music and see if
Well,
they.
at least that's after.
Sometimes.
I'm not doing that.
She's stuck with these comparisons that are false. Or that aren't authentic. Right? So, what does he mean by these
Wait, where's your?
standards that we have?
You're still at that one?
Wait, hold up. Is it red?
What?
Well, think of the time period, Emma. And what was all of the colonization?
What was that?
Was it after that time period? You remember history.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say.
The only people that know is
Oh yeah. Wait, this is in England?
yes.
Oh!
In like,
Okay,
in
that
like,
makes a lot more sense.
in like the late 1500s.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Yes.
When he's describing this,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like
you can say that.
putting her
Yeah.
together in my
Yeah,
head,
yeah.
and like how she walks. And
I always think so.
Mr. Dolsky?
It was with your accent.
Oh yeah.
That was this. You wrote that from literally nothing.
Like she might be on
Wait, where is it? Put it together.
Wait, I submitted it as a PDF and the comments didn't show up.
I'm sorry, what?
The comments didn't show up.
Just send me your link. Just resubmit. Hey, kiddos, I will real quick. Levi, I need your House on Mango Street book.
I
I don't have it. I just checked.
well, it's gone.
Oh no,
I'll
what
try to
happened
find
to it? Ella, I need yours as well.
I turned it in.
I don't have yours.
I just learned.
I'll check on my desk, but I just counted off books and I didn't have it. Belle, I'm missing your House on Mango Street. And Charlie, my girl.
Are you sure? Cause
I can go check in they're on the back table.
I do math.
Yeah, you're done.
Oh, you're sharing.
Good. Good. Okay.
Oh, stop right there.
All right, bring it in 3, 2, 1, 0. I went 3, 4. Okay. So the last thing you need to do is answer what is the theme discussed in the sonnet. Okay. The one thing I want to point out with theme, remember, it's not just a word. You can't just say beauty. What is Shakespeare saying about beauty, or what is Shakespeare saying about societal standards? Okay. That's what I want you guys to give me. What is he saying about this topic? Don't just get a one-word answer. Okay, any questions? Alright, work on that. Make sure you have your words underlined and your vocabulary terms, your literary devices picked out, and your end line, your end punctuation bolded. Okay, we'll be grading that. I'm not going to